Inkscape 1.4 is finally here with new features and improvements to the user interface. This video will briefly discuss some of the new features of Inkscape 1.4. With that said, let's get into it. The first and my favorite change is the change made to the filter menu. You can now come over to the filter tab and click on the filter gallery, which will open up the filter gallery where you can find previews of all the filters and get an idea of what they do before you apply it. This is something you couldn't previously do in older versions of Inkscape. Before you would have to first apply the filter to see what change it made. Now you get a preview of the filter before you apply it. So this is a positive change and I'm sure that the Inkscape community welcomes it. You can also search for specific filters using the new search bar. And you can also change the size of the preview thumbnails. With that said, that is it for the filter gallery. Let's move on to the next change, which is the extension gallery. So the extension menu had a similar change made to it, where you can now come over to the extensions tab and open up the extension gallery just like the filter gallery. And here you can see a preview of all the different extensions that can be applied to that object. This, as well as all the other features of the filter gallery, are also found here, like the ability to change the preview size and search for specific extensions as well as group of extensions. The new text and font menu is a nice upgrade over the previous versions. You can now come over to the text tab and click on text and font to open up the text and font menu, and here you can find a preview of all of your fonts. And with your text object selected, if you click on one of the fonts, that font is applied to the text object and you can see that change take effect on your canvas. You can also cycle between fonts using your keyboard arrow keys. There is also a slider at the bottom that allows you to resize the text. And you can search for any specific fonts using the search bar. Inkscape 1.4 made some pretty big changes to the shape builder tool. The shape builder tool now works with images, so you can quickly clip images into the shape of any other object. This object can be a shape, a path, or a text object. There is a consideration of performance drop while using this feature. However, Inkscape clearly states on their website that the final image uses clipped clones of the image to keep the file size low, which means that Inkscape should run smoothly while using this, although we will have to test this as we use this feature going forward. I am going to now quickly go over some of the smaller changes that were made to Inkscape, starting with modular grids. Now we can create modular grids in Inkscape. You can come over to the document properties and choose modular grids. Here you can control the height as well as the width of the module, and you can control the gap between each module of the grid. Some additional functions were added to the ruler and taper stroke path effect. The ruler path effect now allows you to change the angle of the ruler marks from the path and allows to shift the marks as a percentage of the mark length. And the taper stroke path effect now allows to clamp or cut off the path tip instead of tapering it down to a single point. A new swatches dialog has been added to Inkscape, which gives us access to a new drop-down menu where we can select a number of pre-made color palettes. This, as well as the ability to search for a specific color or set of colors using the new search bar. And so those are all of the new features I will cover in this video. If you want a full list of all the new features, I will leave a link in the description to Inkscape's website where you can find all the relevant information. So that is it for this video. If you liked this video, you may also enjoy one of these.